Me marcharé mañana porque el destino lo pide. Te besaré en la boca para que nunca me olvide.
Quiero estrecharte en mis brazos y sentir todo tu aliento, porque sé que en un momento tendré que partir muy lejos y a lo mejor no regreso. Y si he de volver con vida, yo te buscaré enseguida para casarme contigo. Ella pea, ella pea, ella pea, ella pea, ella pea. Ella pea, ella pea, ella pea. Permanecer en mi mente este momento sagrado en el cual hemos jurado vivir los dos solamente. Espero volver a verte cuando esto haya terminado y seremos muy felices realizando lo deseado, que es vivir los dos juntitos para siempre enamorados y ver jugar los niñitos sanamente y confiados.
Marcharé mañana porque el destino lo pide. Te besaré en la boca para que nunca me olvides.
Para que nunca me olvides, cariño, tres cosas te quiero decir. Sabes que te quiero, eres mi consuelo y sin ti no puedo vivir, mami.
Marcharé mañana porque el destino lo pide. Te besaré en la boca para que nunca me olvides.
Siéntate que te quiero hablar, mi vida también te quiero decir. Lo que encierra para mí el tenerte que dejar, sí.
Marcharé mañana porque el destino lo pide. Te besaré en la boca para que nunca me olvides.
Ay, si el cariño que te tengo tú me lo tienes también. Si yo he de esperar por ti, mami, espera tú también.
Marcharé mañana porque el destino lo pide. Te besaré en la boca para que nunca me olvides. And gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Unbound, the show where we dive deep into the headlines and unpack. And I'm wondering, can you even hear me? Yeah, there we go. Sorry, I wanted to make sure that my audio was good. Thank you, Docket team. But yeah, welcome back. The show where we dive into the headlines and unpack the chaos and ask the questions everyone else is too afraid to touch. I'm Jey Morales, ladies and gentlemen, and with me always tonight is Revelation. How we doing, Revelation?
Oh, normal. Still freezing.
Still freezing, and everybody that lives in Western New York, you already know we've been getting hit left and right, uppercuts on this snow, and the more that is coming this weekend. So make sure that you guys are safe. There will be much snow to fall from Saturday until 4 a.m. Monday morning. So expect a lot of it and very freezing cold. I think you also mentioned that who's coming up here? What news?
Um,
What news organization did you say was coming up here?
what do you mean?
I thought you said somebody was covering our area here in Dunkirk and Western
Oh,
region.
they did earlier in the morning
Yeah,
because it was Good Morning America.
it was Good Morning
So,
America that was
it's
here
only
in
in
the
a
area. So
yeah, they said it was like if I remember correctly, it was like the highest amount of like possibly the largest amount of snowfall that we could be receiving in the past like 10 years.
yes, that's what they're mentioning. Correct. Correct. Ladies and gentlemen, that was um the video that you just saw a minute ago was the late legendary singer and um former member of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, which you guys already know. We touched over the uh, over Wednesday about it. That the founder of El Gran Combo had passed away at 99 on Saturday the 6th. Now today we lost another member of the legendary group. We'll be touching about that later on today. But for now, rest in peace, Papo Rosario, and my condolences to friends and family. But tonight we've got a packed show as always. We'll break down House Republicans' last minute healthcare plans and what it could mean for millions of Americans as the ACA subsidies face expiration. We'll talk about Americans tightening their wallets amidst rising prices and what that says about the state of the economy. Plus, the newly released Epstein estate photos are sparking fresh political debates. Don't you worry, we won't be talking about that too much because it's already blowing up all over the internet. Um, and we're also unpacking why this story resonates today a little bit, though in our show. We'll also reflect on the Sandy Hook anniversary today, discussing the Trump administration naming AI a top scientific priority, cover the latest immigration developments, and warn about severe winter storm hitting the Pacific Northwest. On top of all that, we got a financial news roundup and a heartfelt tribute again to the legend Luis Papo Rosario, former member of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. And I don't have it here, but we're also going to be discussing about some lighter news. We're going to be talking about tomorrow's main event, John Cena versus Gunther, and also we're going to be talking about again tomorrow's is Dick Van Dyke's 100th birthday. We're going to try to take as much coverage on that on Monday of what happens tomorrow. So grab a seat and stay tuned and get ready for insights, analysts, and conversations you won't want to miss and won't hear anywhere else. Alrighty, today's top U.S. story centers on the healthcare as House Republicans unveiled the last-minute healthcare proposal while the Enhanced Affordable Care Act subsidies move closer to expiration. Whoops, sorry about that. Docket team, why didn't you fix this up a little bit better? Thank you. Um, so the timing of the release has sparked immediate controversy, with critics arguing that the plan arrives too late and offers too little clarity for millions of Americans who rely on subsidized coverage. The proposal, spanning more than 100 pages, outlined Republican priorities focused on reducing federal health care spending, reshaping insurance markets, and rolling back parts of the Affordable Care Act. However, it notably does not guarantee an extension of the enhanced subsidies that currently help lower monthly premiums for an estimated 20 plus million Americans. Without congressional action, those subsidies are set to expire, potentially causing sharp increases in insurance costs as early as next year. Democrats and healthcare advocacy groups warn that the expiration could force families to drop coverage altogether, especially middle and lower income households already strained by inflation. Already strained by inflation, house costs, and rising medical expenses. They argue that healthcare affordability should be a bipartisan priority and accuse Republicans of using uncertainty as a political bargaining tool. Republicans, on the other hand, defend the proposal by framing it as step towards long-term fiscal responsibility. Party leaders argue that expanding subsidies indefinitely, my bad, is unsustainable, and that market-driven reforms will ultimately lower costs and increase competition. They also point to rising federal deficits as justification for rethinking healthcare spending. As negotiations continue, Americans remain caught in the middle. Insurance providers are awaiting guidance. State healthcare exchanges face logistical uncertainty, and families are left wondering whether their coverage will remain affordable in the upcoming years. With the deadline approaching, pressure is mounting on Congress to act or risk triggering one of the largest healthcare coverage disruptions since the Affordable Care Act was first introduced. My ending discussions about this: should healthcare subsidies be treated as permanent safety net or temporary solution? What responsibility does Congress have to prevent coverage loss, regardless of party politics? Is market-driven healthcare reform realistic for lower-income Americans? How might rising healthcare costs influence voter behavior in the next election? As always, ladies and gentlemen, let us know in the comment section, and we always touch it along the way. What do you got?
All I'm gonna say is healthcare is, important, and so for people who can't really afford it, uh, should definitely be made cheaper, but unfortunately, at the same time, if you make it cheaper, there's the whole bad part of it may lose the quality, or if the quality stays the same, you're going to have longer wait times for getting medicine or going to the doctors. So it's like you either win or you either lose. Like there's no in between,
Right.
which is what sucks.
Um, some of the answers that we have here are: healthcare subsidies ideally is a safety net, but designed to be temporary support, while broader reforms stabilize access and affordability. Congressional responsibility must ensure continuous coverage for citizens, prioritizing public health over party politics. Market driven reform, limited realism for lower income Americans without strong subsidies or protections, as affordability remains a barrier. Rising costs in voters, higher healthcare expenses likely driven by demand for reform, influencing votes towards candidates promising affordability and coverage security. So there's that. Again, let us know in the comment section what do you guys think, and we're gonna move along now to another major U.S. headline today, is which is reigniting political tension as a newly released photographs from Jeffrey Epstein's estate have resurfaced long-standing controversies involving some of the most powerful figures in American public life. The release of these images has intensified partisan debate and renewed public scrutiny around Epstein's network influence and unanswered questions surrounding his crimes. The photographs made publicly by the House Democrats, of course, reportedly show Epstein in the company of high profile individuals, including former and current political leaders. While no new criminal allegations have been directly tied to the images, their release has sparked a media storm and promptly sharp reactions across the political spectrum. Supporters of the release argue that transparency is essential, especially when public trust in institutions remain fragile. The White House and Republican leaders have dismissed the move as politically motivated, calling it a distraction. Sorry, ladies and gentlemen, I need a quick sip of this drink. Calling it a distraction from pressing national issues such as economy and healthcare. They argue that releasing old materials without new evidence risks weaponizing public outrage, undermining due process. At the same time, Democrats insist that the public deserves full disclosure, particularly when questions about power, privilege, and accountability remain unresolved. Beyond politics, though, the renewed attention highlights broader societal concerns about how wealth and influence can shield wrongdoing. Epstein case continues to symbolize systemic failures and injustice, from lenient plea deals to delay investigations. For many Americans, the resurfacing of these images is less about individual figures and more about whether powerful elites and ever truly held accountable. As the story unfolded, it once again places pressure on lawmakers, media, and the justice system to confront uncomfortable truths. Whether this moment leads to meaningful accountability or fades into partisan noise remains to be seen. But public frustration over unanswered questions continues to grow. My ending discussion questions about this: does releasing controversial material without new evidence serve transparency or political agendas? Why does the Epstein case continue to resonate so strongly with the public years later? How should the justice system handle cases involving powerful and well-connected individuals? What reforms are necessary to restore trust when high-profile investigations leave so many questions unanswered? As always, ladies and gentlemen, let us know if you've been keeping up with the Epstein, things that have been, going out with the pictures, any information, anything that maybe you have caught by reading all these logs and information that has been publicly given to the public. For now, do you have anything on this that you would like to say?
I don't really have anything on it. I'm just ready for that whole entire thing to be,
We already know that
put
not a lot of
past
people
us.
are gonna get, they're just gonna get a clap in the, what I mean, not a clap, but a hit in the hand, and smack in the hand, and you all right. Anyway, we have our answers, but let us know in the comments. We would like to hear yours. We're just gonna move on along and go into another important story. Where yeah, give me a moment, because I feel like I have something missing that I needed to say, but docket team has something else going on. Oh, Ryan, what's going on? Welcome to the show this evening. I would like to give a shout out to those that have been coming in and subscribing. We are at, I don't know if you know this, Revelation, but we're almost at 1,060 subscribers.
Hey.
So thank you very much to everybody, and we truly appreciate you always having a little bit of time to come in and join us. I don't have what I'm looking for, but for now, we're gonna give you this. This portion of the show is brought to you by the Caville Hotel and Tavern, located in Kleinfeltersville, Pennsylvania. Oh, of course, they're located down in 2647 Heidelberg Avenue, Kleinfeltersville, PA. Their phone number is 717-949-8413. They're open from Wednesday to Sunday. So tonight, they were open from 4 to 10, Saturday 12 to 10, and Sunday 12 to 8. Wednesday and Thursday, they're usually open from 4 to 9. So make sure that you go down there. If you need any reservations, make sure to contact them again at 717-949-8413. Seth and Jamie will treat you like family and help you out with any question needs. So yeah, make sure to tune in and tune in. Make sure to give them a call and ask them about the peanut butter and jelly burger. You won't want to miss out on that. But again, another important story shaping today's U.S. conversations focuses on the economy and how it is impacting everyday Americans. New survey data shows that rising prices continue to squeeze household budgets, forcing many families to scale back holiday spending and rethink basic financial priorities. According to the survey, a growing number of Americans report cutting back on gift buying, travel plans, dining out, and even essential purchases as inflation continues to outpace wage growth for many workers. While official economic indicators may suggest stabilization in some areas, consumers say their lives experience tells a different story. Higher grocery bills, rent increases, insurance costs, medical expenses are leaving less room for discretionary spending. Economists note that consumer confidence plays a major role in overall economic health, especially during the holiday season, which traditionally drives retail sales and small businesses' revenue. When households pull back, the ripple effects can be felt across industries from retail and hospitality to shipping, manufacturing. Small businesses, in particular, may feel the strain as shoppers become more selective with their money. The findings also highlight a growing gap between economic narratives and public perception. While policymakers debate interest rates, job numbers, and long term growth, many Americans are focused on immediate concerns, whether their paycheck stretches far enough and how to prepare for an uncertain financial future. This disconnect continues to fuel frustration and skepticism towards political leadership and economic messaging. As the year comes to a close, the question remains whether relief is on the horizon or whether financial pressure will persist into the next year. For millions of households, the issue is no longer about luxury or comfort, but about stability and survival in an economy that feels increasingly unforgiving. My ending discussing questions about this: why do many Americans feel economic pain even when microeconomic data appears positive? How much responsibility do policymakers have to address cost of living concerns directly? Are inflation and high prices becoming new normal of U.S. households? How could ongoing financial stress influence consumer behavior and political sentiment moving forward? Let us know in the comments, as always, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Eddie Weber, Orion, Jojo. Welcome, guys. Welcome. Let us know in the comment section again. Revelation, what do you think? Why Americans right now are holding on to their money and just paying their essentials that they need?
Um, Probably because, well, everything's getting so expensive,
Indeed.
and you know, people are just trying to save in case, uh, let's just say you get fired. Everyone knows the job market is the the you know turnaround on the job market is very bad. So chances of finding a job after you lose it. That's not good.
Right.
So if you got a bit of money stashed away, it's kind of like you know, a little bit of a blanket you got to sit back on there. Other than that, I really can't think of any reason other than like a safety net. Like, I mean, maybe people aren't putting much stock in banks again, unless that was said and they are. I don't know. I don't like the putting money in banks, but it's one of those necessary evils because it's not like you just want to have like $3,000 worth of cash in your house and oops, house lit on fire and now you just lost $3,000 and all the possessions in your house or whatever their value was.
Right. What we got over here for some subtle answers. Oh, there's no way. That's hilarious. I gotta keep that up. Sorry. Finding out information, always getting ready. You already know. Economic pain despite positive data. Gains are uneven. Wages for many lag behind rising costs, and micro indicators often mask localized or household level struggles. Policymakers' responsibility. High leaders should address cost of living pressures through targeted policy, not just broad economic growth metrics. Inflation as a new normal. Persist high prices may become structural without reforms in housing, healthcare, and wages. Impact on behavior and politics. Financial stress can reduce spending, increase debt, and drive voters towards candidates proving or promising relief or economic reform. So yeah, that's what we got on that. Let us know in the comment section as always. And for now, today, communities across Connecticut pause in remembrance as flags are ordered to fly at half staff to mark the anniversary of the Sandy Hook Elementary School shooting. 13 years later, the tragedy remains one of the most painful chapters in modern American history, continuing to shape national conversations around gun violence and school safety and collective grief. On December 14th, 2012, 20 children and six educators lost their lives in mass shooting that shocked the nation and the world. In the years since, the anniversary has become not only a moment of mourning, but also a reminder of unresolved debates and the emotional toll such events leave behind. Families of the victims, survivors, and the first responders continue to carry the weight of that every day. Uh, in that day as well. Even as time moves forward, skate leaders say the half staff observance is meant to honor the lives lost and acknowledge the lasting impact on the community. Memorial services, moments of silence, and quiet reflection take place, emphasizing remembrance over politics. Yet the tragedy legacy inevitably intersects with policy discussions as Sandy Hook helped accelerate changes to gun laws in Connecticut while leaving the national debate deeply divided. For many Americans, the anniversary raises difficult questions about memory and progress. While awareness around school safety and mental health has increased, mass shootings remain a recurring reality across the country. Each anniversary reopens wounds while also challenging the nation to reflect on what has changed and what has not. Since that day, as flags lower, uh, sorry, I didn't mean to continue there. What has not since that day. And as flags lower and the names are remembered, the moment serves as a solemn reminder that behind every headline are families and communities permanently altered. The passage of time has not erased the pain, but it has reinforced the importance of remembrance, empathy, and honest reflection. Um, We're gonna give a real quick a moment of silence for 10 minutes. I mean, sorry for I did it again like last so like Wednesday for 10 seconds, ladies and gentlemen. We're gonna give a quick moment of silence for 10 seconds. We'll be right back. So, rest in peace to those children and the 6 teachers, and my condolences to the friends and family. Even though it's been this long, it's still, I know that those people feel like that stuff happened yesterday. Stuff lingers for the rest of their lives. Now, I have discussing questions about this, but we're just going to leave it there, ladies and gentlemen. I think we have discussed this for so many years, and we all have our opinions about what needs to be done, you know, and done the right way. And I'm not talking about taking guns away either. I'm talking about there has, with a gun, it comes with great responsibility. Am I right, Revelation?
Yep.
But moving on into another major development in today's U.S. news centers on a federal government's growing focus on sorry about that, on artificial intelligence. The Trump administration has declared AI the nation's top scientific priority, signaling a major shift in how the United States plans to to compete technologically and economically on the global stage. According to the administration officials, artificial intelligence is now viewed as a critical to national security, economic growth, and scientific leadership. The push includes increased investments in AI research, expanded partnership with private technology companies, and renewed emphasis on innovation in areas such as defense, healthcare, energy. And supporters argue that failing to lead in AI could leave the U.S. behind rivals like China, who rapidly advancing their own capabilities. However, the announcement has also raised questions or concerns, sorry, they raised concerns. Critics warn that prioritizing AI without strong oversight could accelerate job displacement, deepen economic inequality, and create ethical risks tied to surveillance, data privacy, and algorithmic bias. Environmental concerns have also entered the conversation as AI data centers require massive amounts of electricity and water, putting additional strain on already stressed energy systems. Experts say the challenge will be balancing innovation with responsibility, while AI, the potential to revolutionize medicine, transportation, and productivity. It also demands clear regulatory frameworks to ensure transparency and accountability. Without guardrails, rapid adoption could outpace society's ability to manage its consequences. As the U.S. races forward, the question is not whether AI will shape the future, but how intentionally that future is designed. The administration decision marks a defining moment that could influence technology, labor, and civil liberties for decades to come. Now, my ending discussion questions about this. Should artificial intelligence be treated as a national security issue or primarily an economic tool? How can innovation be encouraged without sacrificing ethics and public trust? What protections should exist for workers potentially displaced by AI technology? Is the U.S. prepared to regulate AI at at the same pace it is promoting its growth? So let us know in the comment section what you think about this AI becoming a national thing. What do you think, Revelation?
Um, Personally, I think there needs to be a lot of regulation on AI. We definitely should not be going around just building like crazy robots out of them. Like it's all fine and dandy, to just like have like it to where it's like, for example, like Siri and everything, like, yeah, have AI like that, improve that first before we go being like, hey, you know what would be cool? Having a 6 foot tall robot that has movable limbs and can think for itself. Like, there have been plenty of movies made about that and what can go wrong, and when it goes wrong, what happens.
What happens? What do you think? Skynet.
Yeah, yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. It's gonna be Skynet. Am I wrong?
Yeah, I mean, and considering that, they're Chinese robots, they're not the best of quality.
Right.
No, no offense to Chinese people, but the nation of China itself is not known for technological innovations. Like, first it was the dog, and it started, the more people started kicking it to test it, it started getting real pissed, and it just started, just lunging at its owners, and they had to turn it off.
Exactly.
And then in order to test the damn robot, like the human robot, they just started poking at it with a stick, and then it eventually kept getting up on its own, and they had to shut it off. And in order to test its reflexes, they had to use the weird little, like, those things that you just like hit to like test your hitting. And when they went to go turn it on, it just almost punched one of the fucking trainer dudes in the face, and they had to completely wipe the programming. Yeah, it just yeah. Now you know why maybe human-sized robots controlled by AI aren't the best. Let's work on things like Siri and whatnot first.
Right. Well, ladies and gentlemen, again, let us know in the comment section what do you think. I'm just trying to let people know that we're live over here on the other platforms until next year when I can be able to add all the lives into one place and be able to go live without having to let every single person know I won't as we do the show. So sorry for the inconvenience of me not looking up. All right, so we're gonna go straight into the answering of these questions on my side. AI as a security versus economic tool. Both AI possesses national security risk while offering major economic opportunities. Policy must balance defense and growth. Um, Encouraging innovation ethically, set clear ethical guidelines, transparency standard, and accountability measures alongside R&D incentives. Worker protections, restraining programs, uh, um, retraining programs, income support, and transition assistance for displaced workers are essential. The U.S. is currently behind regulation, often lags innovation, risking unchecked risks without proactive governance. So that's all we got over here. And as always, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for being with us. Let's see. We're going to check the chat real quick, ladies and gentlemen. I need to integrate this chat into our lives somehow very soon so you guys know what's going on and what we are reading. Recent curves of the market, we're heading to another housing crash and recession. If banks have all of your money and you can't access it, what good is it to you? That's what Eddie Weber said, and that is the facts. If you can't access it after this, what we're gonna be going through very soon, it's gonna suck. You better get your money out if you have to, or unless you got money stashed. Uh, Another depression. Yes, sir. That was Joe that said that. Pretty much, but I think they started calling it a recession after the Obama administration, said Eddie Weber. And yeah, that's what we got so far here on the chat. Thank you for the chat, for getting involved. And I'm glad that that's finally happening as we are getting to going through the show and the questions. Awesome, awesome. Well, I just screwed up on something. Hopefully, I didn't screwed up my screen over there. One moment. Ooh, docket team, fix it. Okay, there we go. All right. Now we're going to move over into immigration remains at the center of today's U.S. news as well. The news cycle as the new development highlight the legal, political, and sorry, let me start over again. Blup. So the news cycle as a new development highlight the legal, political, and human complexities of the system. This week's update reflect on an ongoing tug of war between the enforcement measures, court rulings, and policy decisions that continue to affect millions of immigrants living and working in the United States. Recent actions included court interventions limiting certain detention practices, renewed debates over border security funding, and changes in how immigration cases are processed. Advocates argue that the new system is overwhelmed and outdated, pointing to a long backlogs, inconsistent rulings, and families left in limbo for years. For many, immigration legal uncertainty shapes everyday life, determining access to work, healthcare, and stability. Federal officials defend stricter enforcement as necessary to maintain order and uphold the rule of law. They argue that border pressures and asylum claims have reached unsustainable levels, requiring tougher screening and faster removals. At the same time, states and cities are grappling with the real world impact from shelter shortages to strained public services to turning immigration into a local issue as much as a national one. The political divide around immigration shows no signs of narrowing. While lawmakers continue to debate comprehensive reform, incremental changes dominate the landscape, often driven by court decisions rather than legislation. As a result, policy remains reactive, leaving both immigrant and enforcement agencies navigating constant uncertainty. As the conversation continues, immigration stands as one of the most defining issues facing the country, one that touches economic growth, national identity, and humanitarian responsibility. The challenge ahead is whether the U.S. can move beyond crisis management towards a system that is both functional and fair. Here's my discussing questions about this. My ending discussing questions are: should immigration reform focus more on enforcement or humanitarian protections? Do court rulings shape immigration policy when Congress fails to act? What role should states and cities play in managing immigration challenges? Is comprehensive immigration reform still realistic in today's political climate? Let us know in the comment section. As always, ladies and gentlemen, what do you think about this immigration things that are happening around through the United States? And let us know in the comments section. Revelation, you have anything to say about that at all? If not, we got the answers.
I generally try to steer away from immigration topics.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got over here on immigration answers. Focus of immigration reform. It's a balance between. It's a balanced approach is needed, prioritizing humanitarian protections while maintaining reasonable enforcement. Court influence. Courts often set a policy boundaries and enforce rights when Congress is gridlocked, shaping the practical implications or application of immigration law. State and city roles. Local government manage integration, public services, and law enforcement, but must align with federal frameworks. Reform realism. Comprehensive reform is challenging given political polarization. Through incremental changes remain possible. So Those are the answers that we got over here, ladies and gentlemen. Let us know if you differ in the comment section, and then we'll head back into that next time. A major weather story is dominating headlines across the United States as a severe winter storm is set to impact the Northeast this weekend. Following a brutal polar vortex that has already brought record low temperatures to large swaths of the country, meteorologists are warning that millions of residents should prepare for heavy snow, ice, and dangerous travel conditions. The storm system is expected to bring widespread disruption, affecting airports, highways, and public transportation. Local governments are issuing warnings, activating emergency response plans, and urging residents to stock up on essentials and avoid non essential travel. Schools and businesses are also preparing for potential closures, highlighting the storm's far reaching effects. The economic impact could be significant. Retail, shipping, and logistics sectors face delays and losses, while utility brace for power outages and ice and heavy snow accumulates on line and trees. Emergency services are on high alert to respond to accidents and stranded motorists and other storm-related incidents. This storm underscores the vulnerability of urban and rural areas alike to extreme weather events, which climate scientists increasingly link to shifts in global climate patterns. For many Americans, these recurring severe storms are a stark reminder of the need of preparedness and for infrastructure resilience. As the storm approaches, authorities and residents are focused on safety, but questions remain about long-term adaptation. How communities, governments, and individuals' response will be tests of resilience in a changing climate, and a reminder that weather events can disrupt daily life in ways that ripple far beyond the storms itself. My ending discussing question is: how should communities balance preparations with minimizing disruption during severe weather? Are extreme winter storms becoming more frequent due to climate change? While long-term infrastructure improvements could reduce the impact of such storms, how could individuals best prepare for unpredictable weather while maintaining daily routines? So let us know in the comment sections what you guys think. You guys prepared here in the Northeast with this giant storm that's coming. We're going to pass it over to Revelation. I bet he has some good get ready for this winter and don't go outside, because this man does not go outside in the winter. So let us know, Revelation, and everybody else in the comment section, what do you guys think? Take it easy, Eddie Weber. You have yourself a very good night. Thank you for tuning in, as always, sir.
I honestly just absolutely hate this weather. Like, for me, it's just if it could just be here from the 25th to the 31st and then just leave, I'd be happy. But no, it has to be here for 6 months. Just why?
We more than likely, that groundhog more than likely won't be seeing it. Well, what is it, right? Won't be seeing a shadow this year.
Well, no shit, because he can barely get out of his hole with all the snow that's covering it.
Groundhog Day. Oh, God.
Motherfucker's probably freezing his balls off.
Oh, my gosh. Anyway, balancing preparation and disruption, communities should prioritize early warnings, targeted closures, and resilient emergency services to reduce harm without unnecessary disruption. Storm frequency and climate change. Evidence suggests extreme weather storms may intensify in some regions due to shifting climate patterns through trends vary geographically. Infrastructure improvements, upgrading power grids, storm water systems, and transportation networks, plus investing in snow and ice management can reduce storm impacts. Individual preparation, maintain emergency supplies, flexible schedules, and awareness of forecasts while keeping routines adaptable to certain changes or sudden changes. Let us know in the comment section, what do you guys think? As always. So we're gonna have now a financial market and economic roundup, I believe, here. Financial markets and economic indicators are once again in the spotlight today as the U.S. experiences ongoing volatility and shifts in investor sentiment following a week of mixed economic data, including housing, inflation, and corporate earnings report. Both Wall Street and Main Street are closely watching how these trends will affect household, business, and broader financial stability. Sorry about that. Mortgage rates, for example, have shown slight declines, offering some relief to potential home buyers. However, rising costs of living, supply chain pressures, and uncertainties in the labor market continues to challenge consumer confidence. Investors are also reacting to developments in technology, particularly the expanding influence of artificial intelligence and regulatory changes affecting major corporations. Analysts note that while markets fluctuate, um, while markets fluctuate daily, these shifts reflect deeper questions about U.S. economic resilience and policy effectiveness. For household stock market, volatility can translate indirectly through retirement savings, borrowing costs, and employment trends. Business, meanwhile, must navigate fluctuating demand, investment uncertainties, and evolving regulatory environments. The story highlights the delicate balance between economic optimism and caution. Policymakers face pressure to manage inflation, stimulate growth, and protect consumers. While the public experiences the tangible consequences of these decisions in their wallets and daily lives, financial literacy and awareness have never been more crucial as Americans navigate this complex economic landscape. My ending discussion questions about this: how do daily markets fluctuations affect everyday Americans beyond investors? Are current government policies sufficient to address inflation and cost of living pressure? What roles does technology like AI play in influencing financial markets today? How should household and businesses prepare for economic uncertainty in the coming years or year? Let us know in the comment section, what do you guys think? Again, I think this reflects to our topic earlier about people's wallets. Help me here, Revelation. Right? Doesn't this go back to that again?
I'm not entirely sure. It could be. It's been a little bit since it started, and I have the memory of a goldfish, so I'm not too good.
Well,
Don't
market.
remember.
I don't know if you know, but market fluctuations in everyday Americans say affect job security, retirement savings, and mortgages rates and consumer prices, even for investors. Sorry, government policies. Many measures help, but targeted support of wages, housing, and essentials may still be insufficient to fully offset inflation. Technology and markets, AI and algorithmic trading. Accelerate market reactions, improves forecasting, and influence investments decisions. Preparation for uncertainty, diversify income and savings, reduce debt, maintaining emergency funds and planned budgets carefully for households. Businesses should stress test operations and manage cash flow conservatively. So that's what we got on that. And now we're going to move into exciting things happening this weekend. Today is going to mark a historic moment in entertainment and sports for two cultural icons capturing the public attention. Wrestling legend John Cena prepares for his final professional match tomorrow, and beloved actor Dick Van Dyke celebrates his 100th birthday as well tomorrow. In the world of sports, though, entertainment, WWE Saturday Night main events is set to be one of the most emotional nights in wrestling history. On sorry, my bad. On December 13th, tomorrow, Saturday, Cena will step into the ring one last time, bringing to a close a career that has spanned more than 2 decades. The event takes place at the Capital One Arena in Washington, D.C., marking a fitting end to Cena's journey in the nation's capital. as fans from around the world prepare to tune in live on Peacock and through global streams. Cena farewell bout, the culmination of his last time is now tour, will see him face off against Gunther, a dominant force in WWE and the winner of the tournament that earned him this historic opportunity. Cena's career has been defined by resilience and iconic rivalries with 17 world championships, multiple title reigns, and unforgettable feuds with the likes of Randy Orton, Brock Lesnar, and AJ Styles. As he prepares for his final match, WWE has paid tribute to his legacy with a special SmackDown celebration and career highlight segments that honor his contributions to the sport and pop culture. Meanwhile, outside the squared circle, another legendary figure is being celebrated, Dick Van Dyke. The beloved actor whose career has spanned 8 decades is marking a rare and cherished milestone, his 100th birthday on December 13, 2025 tomorrow. Van Dyke has shared reflections on his milestone, noting his recent interview that he feels fortunate to live fortunate to still be active and relatively healthy as he approaches the century mark, with a regular fitness routine and an upbeat outlook on his life. His wife Arlene Silver has spoken about their plans for a quieter celebration, including watching reruns of Jeopardy together, even as fans worldwide honor his legacy with tributes and well wishes. His centennial is being commemorated with a PBS American Masters documentary that highlights his storied career. From early days in radio and stage performances to television classics such as The Dick Van Dyke Show and the unforgettable film roles in Mary Poppins and Shitty Shitty Bang Bang. The project also touches on the challenges and triumphs he's faced, including candid moments exploring his personal journey and resilience. The two events, Cena's final match and Van Dyke's 100th birthday, reflect the deep connection between entertainers and their audiences. One signals the conclusion of an era defined by athletic spectacle and fandom, while the other celebrates a lifetime of creativity, laughter, and influence across generations. Both stories remind us how figures in sports and entertainment become woven into cultural fabric, shaping memories and inspiration and inspiring admiration long after their spotlight moments. How do you think John Cena's final match will impact the future of WWE and wrestling storytelling? And what does it say about celebrity and endurance that Dick Van Dyke remains active and celebrated at 100? Are the parallels between how fans honor the parting legends in sports versus long-lived entertainers? And what legacy do you think each of these icons leaves behind for younger generations of performers and fans? You let us know in the comment section. We won't be answering this one because this is a question for you, the listener. I want you to answer me this question. How do you feel about the end of an era of John Cena retiring after 2 decades? And then what do you think about Dick Van Dyke finally turning 100th centennial year? Let us know. Let us know. Now, finally, we're gonna move into our last topic here on my side. So, if I were you, I would get everything ready. Today, the world of music and culture mourns the loss of one of salsa's most beloved voices, Luis Antonio Papo Rosario, who passed away on December 12, 2025 today at the age of 78. Rosario's death was confirmed by his family in a heartfelt statement shared on social media, expressing that he has departed to continue his dance in heaven. Surrounded by his loved ones, faith in the deep appreciation of fans around the world. Born on April 4th, I think he was born June 4th. If I'm wrong, please let me know if it's April 4th, 1947 or June 4th, 1947. In Santurce, Puerto Rico, of course, a vibrant cultural district of San Juan, Puerto Rico. Rosario' musical journey began as a young teenager. He first cut his teeth in local orchestras before his talent brought him to the orbit of some of the island's most distinguished groups. His big breakthrough came on January 26, 1980, when he joined El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, the legendary salsa orchestra affectionately known as the University of Salsa during his tenure. Rosario became a central figure in shaping the sound of spectacle of the band, performing along fellow vocal legends such as Charlie Aponte and Jerry Rivas. Uh, for 38 years, nearly 4 decades, Rosario's voice powered countless performances and recordings, helping El Gran Combo reach audiences around the Caribbean, the Americas, and beyond. His stage presence, warmth, and musical charisma made him a fan favorite and a respected figure among his peers in the music industry. Rosario Rosario's career, however, was not without personal challenges. In 2017, he stepped away from the stage after a long standing back condition required surgery. In the years that followed, it was revealed that he was also battling cancer, a struggle that ultimately contributed to his retirement being made official by 2019. Yet, even his health, even Yet, even as his health declined, Rosario remained a beloved figure, continuing to interact with fans and fellow musicians alike. His passing comes at a particularly poignant moment, just 6 days earlier, the salsa community also lost Rafael Itier, the founder and longtime director of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, marking a dual loss of an assemble that has been central to Latin music for generations. In their announcement, Rosario's family thanks supporters for the love and encouragement he received throughout his life and career. They also asked for privacy to grieve privately and for continued prayer and strength during this difficult time. Many fans and cultural figures have responded with an outpouring of tributes honoring Rosario's legacy and the joy his music brought to so many. Rosario's influence extended far beyond the stage. He embodied the spirit of Puerto Rican salsa, its passion, its rhythm, and its ability to bring people together across generations and borders. In the words of his son Aniel Rosario, shared on social platform, his father fought like a champion and left a legacy written into the history of the music of our country and the world. His death represents not just an end of an era of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico, but also a moment of reflection for all who cherish salsa as a cultural expression. As tributes flow in from fans, fellow artists, and communities worldwide, the memory of Papo Rosario's voice and his contribution to Latin music will continue to resonate forever. Rest in peace, Papo Rosario. You will be greatly missed. And thank you for my childhood. Thank you for the memories that I spent with my family at parties and everything like that. So in a quick moment, right now we're gonna take a quick moment of silence for Papo Rosario. 10 seconds. Rest in peace. Rest in peace. Now we're gonna send it to our good friend Revelation to again today. Another bad news that has happened yesterday, I believe, or the
Actually, I have good news instead, because that one was a Canadian only article, and so I'm 100% certain we don't have Canadian viewers.
hey, we're up here. We're up here. We're right there. Our neighbors.
Okay, well
We
then
have viewers
I can
from
just
everywhere.
I can then just do a quick rundown. So the Canadian dub voice actress for Marge Simpson um She died at the age of 96 yesterday. She did it the whole entire run.
Yep, 38 seasons, if I'm not mistaken, right?
Yep. Keep in mind, she was the uh, Canadian only dub, specifically. Uh, and the reason why I say Canadian only dub is because uh, she did she was from Quebec, and as we know, they use a bastardized version of French, so they have to have a dubbed version in English, and so that's why she did that, and was also but at the same time was the voice actor just in Canada.
Just the voice actor in Canada.
Yeah,
Not for everything else, just Canada.
there was like three different, for the regular version. But I do have,
According to reports, real
actually,
quick, before you move over to that, it says here she wanted to end at 100. Life stopped her from accomplishing her goal. So she wanted to keep doing this until she was going to be 100 years old. She wanted to be Marge Simpson's voice.
man, I couldn't. I would not want to live even close to that age.
Born in 1929 all the way up to 2025. Give me a second. Let's take a moment of silence. 10 seconds. I got her picture up here. Quick moment, ladies and gentlemen. We're going to take a moment of silence of 10 seconds. Rest in peace, Beatrice Pickard. Thank you so much. All right, what do you got next?
Okay, so this one is actually some good news and tasty at the same time. So, Taco Bell is bringing back some fan favorites this month. They are reintroducing the classic cheesy dipping burritos and steak garlic nacho fries. They are also unveiling 3 new dipping sauce flavors, all of which will be available nationwide from December 18th. Now keep in mind, these are just classics that are being reintroduced. They're adding brand new things as well. Um the sauce that comes with both of those things is a loaded like garlic sauce type deal. The cheesy dipping burrito features 2 small burritos stuffed with steak or roasted chicken, wrapped in a burrito roll and topped with a creamy sauce. The steak garlic nacho fries return with marinated steak, cheddar cheese, and a selection of garlic forward sauces. The 3 exciting new flavors of dipping sauces are creamy garlic sauce, creamy chipotle sauce, and nacho cheese sauce. So there is that. I actually really want to try those steak nacho fries. That sounds really good.
Yeah, that does sound good. That sounds good. So that's all the new stuff that's coming to Taco Bell?
No, those are the two classics that are coming. They're bringing a couple other, like they're bringing a couple other things. They're bringing some like slushy, frosty type deal type things, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. Well,
I'm
what else
pretty
do you
sure you
have?
would have to go on like their Twitter or something to find like the whole entire like whole list.
What else do you got?
That's pretty much it.
That's it?
Yeah, that hasn't been really much
It was a
interesting
week
today.
of just, light news, ladies and gentlemen. It was. It truly was. Um,
People dying,
People dying,
people,
ladies and gentlemen.
getting
That's
snow
uh-huh.
or, you know, get ready for Christmas. Or, which, speaking of which, everyone, better make sure you go get your Christmas shopping done and be safe while you're doing it.
Indeed. That's a fact. Um
Like, don't go running over any old ladies trying to, get like the last like tickle me Elmo for your, your kid. Damn, I feel old just saying get a tickle me Elmo.
yeah, that was kind of old. Well, before we wrap this thing up tonight, ladies and gentlemen, because we didn't run through all the our advertisement here tonight. We have many advertisers here on the show. We would like to thank our other sponsor, Atlas Epoxy Floors. You can contact Brad for any epoxy floors needs at 203-496-6386 or contact him at brad.kelly at atlasepoxyfloors.com. He does garages, basements, patios, lobbies, countertops, you name it, whatever you need. He is located in Milford, Connecticut, but can travel all the way up to upstate New York if he has to Chicago if he has to, Indiana if he has to, Oklahoma, Florida, wherever, Texas, wherever you need the job done, ladies and gentlemen, he could be down there. You can also visit his website at www.atlasepoxyfloors.com. Again, he is CEO and the warranty on these epoxy floors, ladies and gentlemen. If you don't already know, they are a lifetime guarantee. So make sure that you go ahead and contact Bradford Kelly again at 203-496-6386 or email him at brad.kelly at atlasepoxyfloors.com. Our next sponsor as well is brought to you by Red Rum Velocity Modern Classics. The boys down in Velocity Modern Classics have been sending merch up here to me and our other good friend, producer Mike from the Movement Show, that which we're also going to touch on that also because he is part of the sponsor of the show. Make sure to contact them. Velocity Modern Classics. Any classics that you got that you want to modernize but feel that it hasn't lost its classic feel or look. So make sure to contact Velocity Modern Classic. They're located near Pensacola, Florida, and in Cantonment, Florida. So make sure to check them out. Should have a phone number here very soon to be putting on here. I haven't done that yet, but for now, go ahead and look it up on Google. Velocity Modern Classics. They work on modern classics and anything that you need to make it feel up to date, they'll do it for you. Right now, they're working on a Fox body for Post Malone. You might want to go check that out. I think he might have already posted it. I'm not certain. But we will be also adding pictures very soon. I haven't done that yet. I need to get him off my phone and get him on here. Once we do that, we should be good. And ladies and gentlemen, our final and last sponsor of the show is Producer Mike Presents in the Just Up Show Legacy channel. Go on there and check us out every Tuesday. We go live at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. We talk about all the trending topics on social media. We also play some games, me versus anybody that's watching the show. We have a link that you can join us. And also check out Producer Mike's show called If You Want to Become a Millionaire. So make sure to check that. There's many things that we do on that show. It's constantly rotating of ideas and and such. So go ahead and check us out on there. Now, ladies and gentlemen, this wraps up the show for tonight. For tonight's episode of Unbound, we've covered a lot from House Republicans' last-minute healthcare plan and Americans tightening their wallets amidst rising costs to the newly released Epstein estate photos stirring the political debate. We also reflected on major moments in American life: the Sandy Hook anniversary, the Sandy Hook anniversary, the Trump administration naming AI top scientific priority, and the latest immigration developments. On top of all that, we looked at severe winter storm hitting the Pacific Northwest, financial market updates, and honored the passing of salsa legend Luis Papo Rosario, former member of El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico. And I think we also touched on John Cena and Dick Van Dyke's birthday tomorrow, John Cena's final match tomorrow, and many other more things today. The Marge Simpson, the voice of Marge Simpson, Beatrice Pickard, who died at the age of 96. Each story reminds us that the world is interconnected and unpredictable and full of issues that shape our lives politically, economically, and culturally. Before we let you go, I want to take a moment to address two important issues: mental health and domestic violence. These impact millions quietly, but support is available. If you or someone you know is struggling with mental health challenges, you can contact the 988 Suicide and Crisis Lifeline in the U.S. by dialing 988. Trained counselors are available 24/7 to provide support, guidance, and resources. For those affected by domestic violence, you can reach the National Domestic Violence Hotline at 1-800-799-7233. They provide confidential assistance, safety planning, and connections to local support services. Remember, reaching out for help is a sign of strength, not weakness. You are not alone. Thanks for joining us tonight. Keep questioning, stay aware, and as always, stay unbound, ladies and gentlemen, and Merry Christmas. I'm going to let Revelation say his daily homework or reminder and his goodbyes, and then we're going to move over to our song of the night, which is going to be El Gran Combo de Puerto Rico with Papo Lucas and Jerry Rivas and Charlie Aponte on their classic Regresa Ya.
Okay, so the daily homework for tonight, well, not tonight, the next episode, you gotta answer this homework is what is your favorite weather condition to be in? So when you remember, same thing as always, when you tune in to our next episode, answer the homework and enjoy the topics that we present to you. That's all we ask. Remember, it's what is your favorite weather condition? And anyways, you guys, thank you for sticking around, listening. You all stay safe. And if it's cold where you are, stay warm.
Thanks for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. We'll catch you on Monday at 10:35 Eastern Time. Thank you again for tuning in. Take it easy. Here we go.
Eso es. Baila, Gabriel. Yo me casé con una negra encantadora, una negra dulce como la miel, y como yo soy alegría que sentí yo al ver a ese niño que en mis brazos lo tomé y le canté. ¿Dónde vas, carbonero? ¿Dónde vas a hacer carbón? A la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor. A esa negra yo la quiero yo con todo mi corazón. Si es la madre de mis hijos y la dueña de mi amor. Ella tiene pecho grande y yo soy bien narizón. Y así veo cómo somos, nos tenemos mucho amor. Ya me ha dado 6 negritos y 2 más quisiera yo para completar los 8 y cantarles la canción que dice así. ¿Dónde vas, carbonero? ¿Dónde vas a hacer carbón? A la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor. Dale un saquito. A la viña, a la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor, del Señor. Yo me casé con una negra encantadora, una negra dulce y fina, una negra de salón. A la viña, a la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor, del Señor. Ella me lava y me plancha, me cocina el alimento. Por esto que te digo, ¡ay, tu negra tengo! A la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor, del Señor. Pero que mira que negra tan linda, está tan llena de gracia, que negra divina, quiere que la lleve a la viña del Señor, del Señor. A la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor, del Señor. No me importa cómo sea, si aún así la quiero yo. Lo que más me gusta de ella es lo que hay en su interior. A la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor, del Señor. Sí, ya se ha formado el rumbo, los tacos siguen llegando, leña estoy necesitando, más carbón para el fogón que se acaba. A la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor. A la viña, a la viña, a la viña del Señor. Muchísimas gracias. Y la noche es nuestra.